Hello, welcome to the Chit Chat Knits podcast. My name is Darcy, and I'm the maker at Chit Chat Knits. And this is a podcast that is primarily about knitting. Sometimes a little crochet thrown in, sometimes a little quilting. I always have quilts here in the background. And you can see I've moved into late summer, early autumn quilts around the house, but also some pretty flowers. Let me tell you real quick about this little flower vase up here. A friend brought these from a flower farm. But this one up here, the sweet little flowers, we live in the country in western Wisconsin. And down the road, there is a house that's kind of sitting between some fields. And the last two Sundays, the people at that house have a little stand that they put out, and they put little flower arrangements on the stand with a sign that says free flowers, please take. Isn't that just the nicest thing, to share their garden flowers with the neighborhood? And you can see it's a sweet little arrangement that they have put together, and they are asking the neighborhood just to please take some flowers. I just think that's so sweet. It's been two Sundays in a row they've done that, and what a wonderful way to spread kindness in this world. Anyway, as I said, this is mostly a podcast about knitting, and today we are going to talk about knitting. So I did go on a quilting retreat, and I did make some progress on the quilt I was working on, but I didn't make all that much progress. So I will show you that quilt in future episodes. But I have been quilting, or I've been knitting a lot, and I did tell you last time I had a bag and I said, I have a couple projects in here, but I can't show them to you. But I'm going to show you a peek today at one, and then tell you a little bit about the other project that I'm so excited about. So please stay tuned, and I will show you some fun things today. I also have a lot of questions for you, and I so appreciate when you leave comments. I'm not always super quick at getting responded, but I do love to respond to your comments, and I do appreciate when you leave comments. So please continue to do that, because I love it. What am I wearing? Well, you've seen this this summer. This is one of the cotton merino sweaters that I knit this summer that I wore. I did wear it when I went to the Makers Meetup, and I made one in the same pattern but different colors for my friend Katie, and we just really enjoyed wearing them. And I've started another sweater with my same sweater recipe, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But I'm titling this episode, Make-Alongs Are Coming. My first question to you is, do you enjoy doing make-alongs? There are big make-alongs, there are small make-alongs. Do you enjoy, are there certain times of year that you like to do make-alongs? We're going to talk about some today. But let's get started with a finished object, and that will lead me to the talk of another make-along. So I showed you last time that when I was in Chicago for the Makers Meetup, I did go to Wool & Company and Elgin Knitworks, and I actually bought some yarn at both, and this is the yarn I bought at Elgin Knitworks. So it's Round Mountain fibers in their Willow DK, and the color is Regal Ring Neck Snake. I'm not a snake fan, but I really like this yarn. 100 grams, 250 yards, superwash merino, and I love the way this hat turned out. Can you see the dots on this hat? Knit and purl dots. And you know, I always question when variegated yarn does this, not striping, but this color swirling. but I love the way it's swirled in this pattern. I think it looks so cool. I just did a 3x3 rib and then went into my pattern, and then for the crown, I appreciate a pretty crown decrease on a hat. I don't know about you, but it matters to me. So when I write a pattern, I always try to do something interesting, and this is pretty simple, but I still think it makes a really pretty crown in the hat, in the decreases in the top of the hat. So speaking about the spiraling that the colors are doing. So when I started the hat, I had different ideas, and I was just playing around with some stitches, and I actually ended up switching gears after I had gone a ways, and I just wasn't pleased, so I ripped it out and I started again. But what I did when I ripped it out, I rolled all the way to the opposite end of the skein, and I feel like the colors seem to even though they still spiral, they seem to be more dispersed when I went in. I felt like they were a little brighter when I went to the other end of the skein, and I've heard that that sometimes, like I used to have this problem where I would knit a sock and then I'd keep going and knit the second sock. And one sock would be brighter than the other sock, and I couldn't figure out what that was. And then somewhere along the line, I don't know where I heard this, but I think it was from a podcaster said, well, or maybe a dyer, that sometimes your skein will be more color saturated perhaps on the outside than the inside of the skein. So depending upon how it's wound, you may end up with darker on one end and a little bit lighter on the other end. So so that's why, okay, we're getting in making a short story long yet again. But when I knit my socks, I like to knit one cuff, knit the other cuff, knit one leg, knit the other leg, do the heel, and go back and forth on a skein, because that seems to help keep the color being more even through the two socks. I don't know, it just seems to work that way. And again, this seemed to be brighter and the colors more dispersed. I love the way this hat, the yarn spiraled in blush. I think it's really cool. I'm gonna put it on, it's gonna wreck my hair, but whatever. So here you go. It's kind of hard to see that patterning on here. And it is subtle when you use such a vibrant yarn, but I think it's pretty cool. And this is a Christmas gift. Yay! I used a little less than 50 grams. So I still have, would still have enough to make another hat. But what I think I'm going to do is make some fingerless mitts to go with it. And I have to look up some of I know I have the Professor Pearl fingerless mitts pattern. I have a few fingerless mitts. So I need to just go in and see how much I would need, because I could always supplement a solid gray with this too. One Christmas gift, check. Anyway, I'm curious what this pattern, because the knits and purls, there's circles. Can you see that? I'm curious to see how that pattern would show on a yarn that is not quite as variegated. So I went into my stash and I pulled out this Toad Hollow yarn. It's from the Meet Me in Paris collection, and it's Le Hiver. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but isn't that pretty? I'm not a super fall color person, but to me this light blue, and then see that mossy green, there's some brown in there, some gold. I think this will make a really pretty hat for fall as we go into fall and early winter. Look at, there's even some bright blue down there. I'm going to wind this up and reknit this pattern, write it, get it. It's written, my notes, need to type it up, knit it again this weekend, and see how that looks. Now, here's a question. I said before that there would be questions today. So I think the question number one was, do you like make-alongs? Question number two is, do you have a name for this hat pattern? I need help with the name. Again, it has circles. I need help. Please, will you help me figure out a name? And then the third question I have is about hats. Last year, from October 1st to November 15th, I hosted a make-along called the Warm Ears Make-Along 2023. And I had so much fun with this make-along. Several people donated prize to the make-along. Susan of Delightful Works made a beautiful fall bag that we could put our projects in, and people were able to buy this gorgeous bag for the make-along. And I am just wondering, would you be interested in another hat, head warmer, headband, something that keeps your ears warm, make-along? And we would start it again in October. I need to hear from you, because I really had fun with it last year, and I think others did too. So I want to hear from you. Would you be interested? And I love to knit hats. I love to design hats. I love to knit hats. I love to gift hats. So to me, it's just, it would be a real plus, because I love that. But I also ordered some yarn this week that came in the mailbox from my friend Melissa at Bella Fio Yarns. And she has some gorgeous fall yarns out that I want to show you what I got. Can I just take a side here? It's tough for indie dyers to get started. It's really, really hard. There's a lot of competition. I think it has to be quite an expense if you're going to go to big shows and travel around the country. This is why I talk about some of my favorite dyers, just because I know it's hard, and no, I'm not selling for them or anything. I just want to share with you what I like and show you fun, pretty yarns. So anyway, I got 2 yarns from Melissa this week, 2 of her fall new colors. Aren't they gorgeous? I love them. Now let me show you this one first. So this one is called Autumn Brew. Let me get the details. 246 yards, 100 grams, superwash merino wool 4-ply. And it's showing up pretty close here. It's just a soft, what would you say, reddish? Soft though, not a vibrant red. And then look here, there's some speckles in there and some tonal. I'm really excited to see what happens with this. Then this is the one that really caught my eye that I love. And this is called Indian Corn. It's DK sock. So it's 75% superwash merino, 25% recycled nylon, 245 yards and 100 grams. And look at the colors. Look, there's some gold up there. Purples, oranges, tan. Ugh, so pretty. My thoughts are in maybe combining the two, and maybe a hat, cowl, mitt combo, hat, mitt. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure yet. I have some ideas, but this will be coming. Oh, I just think they're so pretty. Again, I'm not a super fall color person, but if you put a little pink and purple in there, I love it. I just love this one. So again, it's called Indian Corn, and it's by Bella Feel Yarns. I'll put that info down below. So we'll see what comes of those two. I'm excited but I'm going to finish some other things first. All right, let's see. We're down to, oh my gosh. Okay, we are down to one of the secret projects that I have been working on. I'm going to put a black and white photo in here to show you. This is a wrap, and it is a yarn advent by Monica of Up North Yarns. I was so honored to be asked to design a project with this advent. The theme of the advent is nebula. So the name of the shawl is Between the Stars. Nebula are places, they're mist and gas, where new stars, they're sort of like nurseries for new stars, and also where old stars break apart. If you look up nebula, you will see beautiful pictures of the different nebula. So because nebula are beautiful, let me tell you, these yarns are beautiful, but I cannot show you the actual yarns because it is an advent. She does have it on her website. She posted it, the listing, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, and they're selling out fast. So if you are interested in an advent that's really something fun, go check out Monica's Up North Yarns listing. And again, I can show you the project, but only in black and white. And this wrap will be listed on Ravelry soon, or this fall. I'm sure by November 1st. It is currently being tested and edited, the pattern is, so you will see it coming soon. It's a large wrap style shawl. And the reason I designed this large wrap style shawl is because they are my favorite to wear. I will, if I'm going to like we like to go to theater, and a lot of times if you're sitting in the theater, you're sitting still, and I get cold. So I like to grab a wrap along with me because then I can just wrap it over my shoulders, keeps my arms warm, and I'm cozy and comfortable while I'm sitting watching the play or musical or whatever it is. I also used them, well, last night, for instance, I was watching a movie in our little TV room, and I was a little chilled, so I keep a wrap, a long rectangular wrap, just something I knit up one time, in the drawer, and I pull it out and put it around my shoulders. So that's why I find a wrap style shawl to be so versatile and so comforting to just wrap around early morning, late at night, just to throw around my shoulders and keep me warm. We're going to a family event this weekend where we will be bringing the camper, and I will probably grab that wrap out of the TV drawer just because if I'm a little chilled, I can throw it on and I don't have to worry about it falling off because it'll stay around my shoulders. And I just love that style because I wear them. So please be looking for, the pattern is called Between the Stars. I'll let you know for sure when it is live. on Ravelry. But please go check out Monica's Advent. It is gorgeous. Okay. So I just wanted to share a little bit about that one secret project that I've been working on. The other secret project is something that was started, oh gosh, we started talking about this before Christmas last year. And I have always not necessarily been speedy on this project, but it is really fun. So here's what happened. Wendy of Brewer's Knitting Company and I collaborated to design a shawl. And it took us a while because we wanted the shawl to be thematic. And the theme of the shawl is fiction genres. The title of the pattern is called the Better Than Fiction Shawl. And what we did was we planned out what we wanted to do. Then we each chose fiction genres that we enjoyed. Then each genre is a piece of the shawl. And with that genre is a cute little story that represents that genre. And it's not just a fun project. It will be a mystery pattern. It is also a beautiful shawl. It came out beautiful. We passed the pattern back and forth, added on, and it turned out so fun. Now, what we want to do with this is use it as a fundraiser to promote literacy in our country. So we've looked for somewhere to donate our proceeds for this pattern. And what we've chosen is Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. If you, I know people who have signed up for this book program. Young children receive free books in their home. Now, it's not in every state in the United States, but I do believe it's also in Canada. And I wish it was in every state of the United States, but I do know that it is in North Carolina, and there are many. I'm just saying North Carolina because of personal experience. Friends, my friends' grandchildren have received books from Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. So we want to donate our proceeds from this pattern to this, to Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. And we will be doing a knit along, and I believe it's going to start October 1st. So you've got about a month to get prepared. It's 3 solid fingering weight yarns. More information to come. And Monica of Up North Yarns is going to be putting kits together, so you will be able to purchase a kit for this make-along. We are also looking for anyone else, dyers, who would be interested in making kits. If you are a bag maker or stitch marker maker, and you would be interested in joining in, please email me, chitchatknits@gmail.com, and let's see if we can raise some money for a good cause. Early literacy is so very, very important. Children who are exposed to books in the home do better in school and reach higher levels of education and just do well. And you know what? As a former elementary school teacher with my specialty in reading, I believe there's so much more to be had from reading with children. Not only do you affect them in helping them learn to read, but you also have the opportunity to show them love and affection by spending time with them. So will you please join us? I'd love to hear from you. If you are interested in the make-along, if any way you'd like to support us, if you'd like to spread the word, I can help you out. Thank you so much for listening to this, and thank you for being willing to join us. All right. As I said, it was cold this morning. Perfect day for wearing a summer sweater. And I did mention that I really wanted to knit this pattern again, making a few tweaks on it. You may have remembered when I went to Chicago, I went to Wool & Company and I bought this yarn. Again, blue really is my color. And I love the little neps of color in there. That to me gives it a fall look. So this is Spun Right Around. It is called Wishful. It is a superwash merino with 15% nip, 230 yards and 100 grams. So it's right in at the DK weight yarn. And I have started. I have a start. Yay. So a little change up. Let's see. Let's get to the front here. I know it looks tiny, but it's scrunched up on needles. I decided to do a neck rib. On this one, I did a provisional cast on and then went back and did an I-cord bind off, but I did decide to go ahead and do the neck rib. I did the eyelet round that I love to put in, and then I did a little fancy stitch, nothing too hard, just some twisted stitches. I've got the mini bobbles in there. You can see, let's get it up close. See that? Teeny tiny mini bobbles that I absolutely love. Easy to make, no turning your work. Very, very easy. They are a little subtle with the neps in here, but I think once it's blocked out, you're going to see them a little bit more. Eyelets. And then this time I did actually buy 4 skeins because I want to make it a little bit longer. This one is a little bit cropped, so I'm going to go a little bit longer. And in this one, I did the sleeves, mid length here. And I want to go to just below the elbow for this one. So just a little bit longer in the sleeves for fall. I'm a pusher-upper. So I may as well make them the length I want to wear it. Anyway, I would like to just put my pajamas on and sit in my chair and knit all day today. I know that's not healthy for me, but I would really like to do that. So, so pretty. I do think I'm going to pick up I think what I'm going to do now, because I'm designing this, I want to make sure that I'm comfortable. I know it looks really small there, but I want to make sure that I'm comfortable with the way the neckband lays. So I think I'm going to put this in water and do just a little preliminary blocking, work on something else, maybe work on my hat out of this yarn over the weekend while we're visiting family, do some swatching for another sweater I want to do because, when we're at the cabin, we're kind of sitting around and visiting, so I will be able to do that. I could finish my husband's socks, but then he'd see them, so that probably isn't. Oh, here's a thought. Maybe I should cast on another pair of socks because, that's always fun. Whatever. I'll figure it out. Because I want to make sure before I go too much farther that the neckline is going to be comfortable before I knit a whole sweater and then find out, I need to rip that back. So I did add stitches to make a little deeper neckline. And then I did add some short rows to go up the back, make the back neck a little higher. But you know, we're working here with, this was a 50 cotton, 50 merino, and this is all, what is this? What'd I say? Superwash merino. So, okay, superwash, it will grow, right? We know that. But it probably wouldn't hurt for me to just go ahead and do a little blocking. At least wet it and lay it out and see what happens. All right. I think I'll do that. Are you, here's another question for you. I've asked a lot of questions today. Are you a sweater knitter? Are you getting as anxious as I am to knit all the sweaters for fall and winter? I have so many ideas and patterns that I want to knit that I just want to get going and knit, knit, knit. Okay. Oh, one more question. Are you a sweater knitter? And what weight of yarn do you prefer for sweaters? I have a fingering weight sweater that I made that I have worn a lot. I have really enjoyed wearing that sweater. However, a fingering weight sweater has a lot of knitting in it, a lot of knitting. So I tend to make DK weight sweaters. I don't really tend to enjoy wearing bulky weight sweaters unless it's really, really cold in the winter. I'm just curious. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What are your favorite weights of yarn that you like to make for sweaters? Okay, I've given you a lot of questions, and I do hope you will pop in some answers. I almost forgot to tell you. I almost forgot one thing. Speaking of socks, if you've been here, you remember that we did a Happy Days cabin for the summer sock camp, for the Crazy Sock Ladies summer sock camp. We just did our own informal little cabin in my Ravelry group. And I was so excited this morning because I went in and I counted 91 completed pair of socks this summer that our friends have posted on that Ravelry group thread. Isn't that exciting? So 91. Okay, I believe it ends August 31st. I believe the summer sock camp ends coming up here. Today's the 21st, so by the end of the month, can we get to 100 pair? Are you up for a challenge of helping us get 100 pair of socks knit this summer? If you have a pair that you're almost finished with, finish them up, put it in there. I would be so excited if we would get to 100 pair of socks knit this summer. Let's see what we can do. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for letting me chat, and I hope you will answer some questions. And I wish you happy knitting. Bye for now.